So this video is going to be a little different. I decided to do a walk around of my camper I built. It's still a work in progress, lots of little trim and finish work to do, but I've camped in it about a dozen times and I love it. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. To start with kind of the hardware, it's running radial tires on a used 1,000-pound axle I got with the trailer. The wheels are pretty beat up, the tires are new. The fenders were on the original trailer, but they didn't fit the new camper, so I very crappily welded them on to where they hopefully will break off if I smack on something rather than tear the camper shell off. As you can see, it needs a lot of repairs to the lights and the trailer itself. The shell is held on with 9 of those lag bolts that you just saw. Moving on to the front, we have my little homemade tongue box that I built out of scrap wood I had laying around. I keep spare tents, spare lights, the hitch receiver, a tarp, some paracord, and a couple other things in this side. The center holds the big marine battery that powers anything electronic in the trailer, and the little cords you see in front are just a wrapped up battery charger that I can plug in if I have short power. The white wires lead to the solar panel, which I'm going to discuss in a minute. On this side I have more paracord, bungee cords, a 18-volt Ryobi 1 Plus system fan. I normally have a hatchet in my hiking stuff, but I keep one in here just in case that I may or may not have stolen from my wife's grandmother that I need to get back. Some tent stakes, some fire starter logs, and those black wires are the ones that go to the solar charger, which is this. It's the only thing, one of the 2 things on my camper that is actually made in China. Everything else I bought American made. This is the panel. It's a 200 watt panel and I use maybe half that so it can charge the battery extremely quickly. We're going to go ahead and move on to the inside now. This is the porthole window that is supposed to be for boats that I've kind of modified to fit here. You can see it. It's really nice to be able to hand things in and out, and the dogs love sticking their heads through it. Our headboard features signs that were on the back of our chairs when my wife and I got married. And speaking of my wife, she bought me that wishing I was fishing sign, and these are old beer cans that I found at a job site I had that I cut open and mounted. I'm gonna cover the whole ceiling in that little panel with stickers and signs that I find. Same kind of stuff, just fits stuff that fits the vibe. My father and mother got me this sign for Christmas, I think 2 years ago, and it's perfect for right there. My wife works at a wolf sanctuary, so we have a lot of wolf paintings and a wolf quilt, all that jazz. I keep some movies in here, a Bible, a bird book, emergency toolkit. Up top are some slippers, my hammock, a couple hats, first aid kit, and really anything else that I wanted to shove up there, but not a whole lot. I keep my fishing rods, 2 of my fishing rods at least, my older ones, mounted on the wall there. And typically there is a propane indoor heater on that shelf, which is why there's that little gate there, but in the summer I don't need it, so I just use it for empty storage space. This is a fantastic fan. It's the brand name, it's made in America, I absolutely love it. This one has 3 speeds, you open it, and I have it wired into the control panel, which I'm about to show in a second. That way I can turn it off and on just by reaching my hand up before sleeping without having to get up and actually move that switch. This is just a marine control panel that controls my cabin lights, my kitchen lights, has a couple chargers on it, a battery in here, all that stuff. Speaking of kitchen lights, I'll kind of run around back to the Galley here. These are just fence latches that I picked up at Home Depot. This is just a 1x2 spar that I have on either side that holds the gate up. I've had no issues with the hatch moving or falling. It's worked for 2 years so far. I keep a screened-in porch here right on the, I guess you'd call it a counter. And that will all eventually be covered with kind of a, I'm not sure yet, but all the wires are soldered and heat shrunk. I just kind of duct taped them in place, but I'm gonna end up covering it eventually, hopefully. This keeps falling down, but it's the Galley light switch. I ran 2 strands of LEDs, one on the actual hatch, so that way we have some light on the ground if we're camped out under there or sitting there or using the kitchen at night. And these are actually in the kitchen so I can see the food or whatever I'm doing on the counter. It's pretty empty now because I ate most of the food, but keep a pizza cooker for a fire, some eggs if there were any in there, spices, salt, rice, that kind of stuff. This is just empty storage with wires that I managed to hide in there. Paper towels, pancakes, canned food, cast iron pans, just basic kind of stuff. I try to keep at least like 3-4 days worth of food in the camper at any time, at least during camping season. This is a propane powered cook stove that I got. I absolutely love it. It was a great Christmas gift. I don't use it as much because I cook over the fire a lot, but it's super handy to have, especially to boil water in the morning if you want coffee or hot chocolate or something. Folds up nicely. I stick it in the drawer. These little brackets I made keep it steady when I'm using it on top of it. The other drawer is just more food storage, marshmallows, mac and cheese, more canned food. This is a stacking, backpacking pot and pan set that I use. Fillet knife for fish I catch, if I catch them. Parmesan cheese. Koozie I got from an antler hunting event. Just normal kind of camping stuff, nothing special. Down below, it might be weird that I didn't put a door on it, but I wanted to leave some extra space because Lycan, my blue heeler, loves to sleep down there, which is why there's a little blanket and a pillow. I just use it for storage when we're traveling with it. Sleeping bag, tent, neat little folding table. My mom got me another sleeping bag, that kind of stuff. I almost forgot, this is porch light that's controlled off that same panel. Really handy to have if my wife has to pee in the middle of the night, and so we can get up and be able to see where the heck we are in the middle of nowhere, depending on where we're camping. But that's kind of the gist of my camper. It's always improving, always fixing stuff, always changing stuff. But thank you for watching, and if you want, I can post more videos of it as I do work to it. Thank you.